Jack Depp exposes Amber Heard's messages trying to manipulate him against his dad. Reportedly, Lily Rose has also said quite a lot about her father's ex-wife, and there is not a shred of doubt that both these kids have not been able to get along with Amber Heard. Was it Amber's toxicity or her manipulation that forced Jack Depp to expose her messages? Well, let's find out. Keep watching this video till the end to find more on what Jack had to say. Avoiding the spotlight despite his father's Hollywood stardom, Jack Depp has maintained a low profile for many years. Reportedly, Jack wants to pursue more private life, in contrast to his sister Lily Rose, who appears to have followed in her father's footsteps. Naturally, this simply raises more concerns for those who have been following Johnny Depp's defamation trial with Amber Heard. Many are curious as to what Jack Depp, Johnny's son, truly thinks of these abuse allegations against his father and where he stands with Amber Heard on this. Jack has not been seen with Amber throughout her relationship with his father, and despite the good times that Johnny once shared with Amber, Jack's hesitation with Amber never subsided. With his then-girlfriend Vanessa Paradis, Johnny welcomed his son, Johnny Christopher Jack Depp III, in April 2002. Model Lily Rose Depp, who was born in 1999, 2 years before her younger brother, was born to the former couple who dated from 1998 to 2002. Jack was born in France, the country of his mother's birth, like his sister. When his parents divorced and his father went on with Aquaman actress Amber Heard, he was only 10 years old. While collaborating on the 2011 movie The Rum Diary, Johnny and Amber first met in 2009. At this point, Johnny started feeling something for the Pineapple Express actress. Of course, any 10-year-old wouldn't know how to adjust to such a huge transition, and our guess is as good as yours. Jack might have just not liked Amber's cockiness, just as the jury didn't appreciate it. Jack was just 13 years old when Jack's father wed Amber. In a 2015 interview with Mary Claire, Amber gushed about becoming their stepmom, and then she had a terrific relationship with Jack and his sister Lily Rose. In contrast, during a testimony in court in April 2022, Johnny would subsequently describe the relationship between his children and Amber as non-existent. He added at the time, before disclosing that his daughter Lily Rose didn't even attend his wedding with Amber.
My kids are far more intelligent than I am, and they refuse to be around her.
He said she and Miss Heard were not on really good terms for a number of reasons. Jack doesn't follow in his father's acting career, but he does have certain other traits in common with him. Jack Depp, who is a native of France, resembles his father remarkably. He also appears to have a less than stellar driving history. Johnny felt bad for his son having to deal with the attention that Amber's charges received once they were made public in 2018 because of her assertions.
I thought it was diabolical that my children would have to go to school and have their friends or people in the school approach them with the infamous People magazine cover with Miss Heard with a dark bruise on her face.
You understand what I mean when I say I'm sure going to school wasn't easy for my 14-year-old boy. Johnny spoke with GQ, with individuals saying things like, "Hey guy, look at this magazine. What, does your dad assault women or something? Why was that something he had to endure? Why was my daughter forced to endure that?" Johnny expressed in an interview. In addition to this, Jack was bullied by kids at his school who reportedly teased the poor 14-year-old about how his dad is an assaulter and an abuser. Additionally, Jack had become depressed because of what happened between his dad and his stepmom, who expressed how his father had tortured and beaten the celebrity during their time married. Moreover, the poor kid had to go through depressive episodes of the possibility that his father might just be the bad guy. It has been reported that Jack's studies were also greatly affected by the entire ordeal, and he was also said to have lost interest in doing anything at all. Jack's peers were greatly worried too. As the child went pale and lonely, Amber sure did ruin quite a lot of lives. On one of the many occasions, Jack publicly admitted that he and Lily Rose had considered leaving because they didn't like what Amber was doing to their father. Even during the trials, Lily Rose reportedly claimed the same thing. She must have been very persuasive, far from wanting to leave and be separated from the sole parent there, but Jack who was a little older and saw it wasn't the right thing to do, couldn't have stopped a grown woman from taking his sister. We believe she may have purposefully upset the young girl by telling her that her father was intoxicated and out of control in order to get her to leave, knowing full well that it would deeply harm Johnny. She is egotistical in nature. And of course, the Reddit family had a lot to say as well. Reddit users believe that Amber's toxic behavior might be triggered due to her sad and messed up childhood, as Amber Heard's mother was very narcissistic and did not give a dime about her girl's growing years. One of the many users expressed, "Yes, it's like a poison that settles into your skin." JD said that physical beatings were easier to deal with than the psychological abuse, and I completely agree. The other thing that seems so common is the compliance of family and friends. Many know and just look away, even when it involves children. Another user also laid his opinion, "Not raised by a narcissistic mother, but I've been involved with many narcissistic women. This is what fascinated me about Amber Heard, from her behavior on the audio recordings to her testimony. It was like I knew her. Some people in the MSM really don't get it. The narcissistic abuse from Amber Heard. All abuse is terrible, but narcissistic abuse can be very nuanced and covered. If you don't know it, you'll miss it. A narcissistic will drive a person to shameful behavior. If a person is struggling with substance abuse like JD, you're already in a fight with yourself. A narcissist will make the fight even harder by devaluation, triangulation, and so many other harmful devices. But there are still people who feel indifferent about the entire situation, which is of course an individual opinion. Here's what people had to say about their take on what's going on between the former couple. A user said, "No, in all honesty, it's a fairly unimportant civil case that's probably going to wind up with an uneventful conclusion. Most people don't even realize that Depp lost a version of this lawsuit in the UK already. If it weren't for the awkward political angles, no one would have paid any attention to this case in the first place." Another user said, "It's no different that not caring about celebrities getting married or anything else in their personal lives. The only difference is it's almost become a viral TV show at this point that everyone is talking about. Most don't really care who wins." While another one illustrated, "It's fine. This isn't even a criminal trial. It's a civil trial. It's no different than you taking your neighbor to court for property damage or theft, except that this case involves rich celebrities, so the media is interested in it. It would be one thing if this trial was for assault, abuse, and someone go to prison, but that's not what this trial is for." So where do Amber and Johnny stand now? Both parties have accused the other of using violence and inflicting psychological abuse, and they have done so in dark and frequently vivid language. This trial has a humorous undertone, which has given rise to a paradox. Despite all the attention it has received, the Heard-Depp trial has ultimately been a case study in indifference. Jokes inherently trivialize situation. That manipulation has been served by the jokes. They have denigrated not only Amber Heard, but also individuals who recognize themselves in the trial's charges. Survivors observe and observe. They observe the laughing emoji on the live streams. They notice memes. The LOLs are recorded. They observe a society that cannot distinguish between terror and comedy. Julian Ackert, a computer forensics expert, refuted earlier testimony suggesting that images of Heard's injuries had likely been edited. When she determined that Heard had post-traumatic stress disorder, psychologist Dawn Hughes went back to refute another expert who questioned her techniques. Hughes claimed that despite Heard's score on the PTSD test being in the moderate range, it was sufficient for a functional impairment because Heard did not overstate the severity of her symptoms. That is all for today, folks. Do give us your thoughts in the comments below. Should Amber apologize to Jack and Lily for all that she put them through? Don't forget to like and subscribe.